Percentage fractions are almost like vulgar fractions. The slim difference between the two is that percentage fractions possess 100 as their denominator. Other vulgar fractions do not possess 100 as their denominator. When treated with any certified mathematical operation, a percentage fraction can turn to vulgar fraction. Once it departs from being 100 to something different from 100, that new fraction gotten as a result is no longer a percentage fraction. That takes us to the last objective of number 14, and that is how to convert percentage to vulgar fractions. Please join me as I explain step by step how to convert percentage fractions to vulgar fractions. In this section, we learn how to convert percentage to vulgar fraction. Let us use this figure to learn how to convert percentage fraction to vulgar fraction. Also, this exercise is going to be easy enough. After I convert 50% to vulgar fraction, you will confirm that the statement is true. 50% to vulgar, how is it to be done? Again, we get back to interpreting this 50%. That is, we give it a meaning. And if we give it a meaning, we rewrite that meaning in mathematical form. And when writing in mathematical form, you will see what is required emerge. And that which has emerged will be vulgar fraction. Please follow me as I convert this 50% to vulgar fraction. First, what does 50% mean? It simply means 50 picked out of 100. So next, let me write alternatively that 50% is equal to 50 over 100. And here it comes. 50% is the same thing as saying 50 picked out of 100. 50 out of 100 still appears to be in form of percentage. But if we bring down this into each lowest term, we find something which is now vulgar. How do we convert 50 over 100 to lowest term? As before, we look for a highest common factor. A highest factor which is common to 50 and 100, which will divide 50 and 100 at the same time to give us the results. And that factor is 50. When 50 divides itself, the result is equal to 1. When 50 divides 100, the result is 2. Therefore, 50% is equal to 1 over 2. In conclusion, 50% is equal to 1 over 2, whereby 50% is in percentage and 1 over 2 is in vulgar. This way, we have been able to convert 50% to vulgar fraction. Let us see similar examples. And this is the second example. It says 30%. Again, how do we convert this 30% to vulgar fraction? We do it by interpreting 30%. How do we interpret it? It is 30 picked out of 100. How do we write 30 picked out of 100? See it here. 30 out of 100. When this is reduced to its lowest term, the answer is going to be 3 over 10. How was that possible? We look for a factor, highest factor common to 30 and 100 that divides both at the same time to yield 3 over 10. What is that highest common factor? It is 10. When 10 divides this 30, it is 3. When 10 divides this 100, it is 10. Because of that, 30% has become 3 over 10. So picking 30 out of 100 is the same thing as picking 3 out of 10. Let's see another example. And here comes the third example. It says 45%. How do we convert 45% to Vulgar fraction? Like before, we do it by means of interpretation. 45% means 45 picked out of 100. 45 over 100 is to be brought down to its lowest term. What is that divides 45 and this 100 at the same time? The highest possible factor to give us something simpler. That is 5. When 5 divides this 45, the answer is equal to 9. When 5 divides this 100, the answer is equal to 20. Because of that, 45% is something as saying 9 over 20. Let us take the fourth example. And here comes the fourth and the last example for this section. It says 12.5%. Don't forget that we also have decimals expressed as percentage. So together, 12.5% is just example. So how do we convert 12.5% to Vulgar fraction? The same thing that was done before will be done again. That is, it is 12.5 over 100. But first, we convert this 12.5 to 125 over 10. I hope you know that 12.5 is something as 125 over 10. That having been said, let us also recall that this percent means over 100. So this 12.5 is something as this. This is 125 over 10. I just hope you recall why it should be so. Then percent means over 100. Now, if you interpret this expression, it means 125 over 10 divided by 100. You can put 1 here to make it take the structure of a fraction, though not a fraction. Now, we use the principle, the formula for dividing fractions to carry out this exercise to have the next line of action performed. So 125 times 1 is 125. Then 10 times 100 will give us 1000. Based on that, 12.5% is something as 125 over 1000. And when this is brought down to its lowest term, the answer is equal to 1 over 8. I just believe you know why. 125 is the highest common factor. It divides 125 and the result is 1. 125 divides 1000. The result is 8. Therefore, in conclusion, 12.5% is equal to 1 over 8. This fourth example serves a purpose. The purpose is to make us realize that it is not always a whole number expressed as a percentage that we ought to convert to Vulgar fraction. You see that this 12.5 is actually a mixed number. So whether it is a whole number we have or we have mixed number, it is possible to convert that to Vulgar fraction. So far, what will you say is the formula for converting percentage to Vulgar? As simple as it appears, we still have to recall the formula for doing that. Please join me as I write the formula for converting percentage to Vulgar fraction. And now the formula is here. A percent. A refers to just any number at all. So in the cases we have here, this A has taken the form of 50, 30, 45, and 12.5. Each of them in turn had become A. Therefore, A percent is equal to A over 100. When you get this A over 100, bring it down to lowest term if need be. That way you have converted percentage to Vulgar fraction. Please, now time has come for you to check if you can actually convert percentage to Vulgar fraction. Watch out and find an exercise. And here comes the checkpoint. It says, convert the following numbers expressed in percentage to Vulgar fraction. 1. 80%. 2. 25%, 3, 40%, and 4, 2.5%.